Hi, Priyanka ma'am. First of all, welcome to our show and a big congratulations for winning. Could you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you so much for the award. I think these kind of platforms really act as catalysts for us to even perform better, and also kind of gets a little inspiring for the rest of the generations also to kind of follow. So, thank you for providing this kind of a platform. So, hi, I'm Priyanka Gulati. I'm a partner with Grant Thornton in consulting. I do a lot of work around leadership development and HR consulting. And I'm also an independent director on boards. I'm a FICCI Flow governing body. It's a body where we work with a lot of women entrepreneurs and professionals. I'm a mother of two young boys. I play golf, run, and also do a little bit of mental healing and also a national level bridge player. So that's a little about me.
Consulting means often you give a long hours. So how do you manage the time? Like how do you balance the time with the client demands and the self-care? If you can tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a super awesome question with no simple answers, but at least what I try to do is divide my life into few quadrants and be there at that moment, whichever quadrant I'm in. So if it's a client meeting or a client demand, which demands at times 16, 18 hours, it's at times a lot of travel, at times it's a lot of meeting people, etc., then I'm there at that moment. I'm not thinking about fitness or I'm not thinking about the boys at home. But at the same time, I do make sure, even if it's a very, very busy day, I give those 10, 15 minutes minimum at least uh, to Surya Namaskars. So it's a holistic exercise, it requires very little time, and you've still got, you get that energy to spend those 16 hours then. But not every day is 16 hours, let me be very honest. And therefore, the balance time, then I do run, I do other, exercises, and I play golf. I'm also a bridge player, so that also demands a lot of time. So, as I said, I divide the quadrants and then live life in terms of being there at that moment as much as possible.
That's wonderful. So, as a professional managing high pressure, how do you integrate wellness into your daily routine?
Yeah, so there are a lot of times when there's super high pressure, and that's where, breathing really helps. And just simple things like inhale 4 times, hold, and then exhale, 4 times. It's simple thing, doesn't require time, but eases out the pressure. If I do have time, a 30 minutes run, high speed, helps me to ease out that pressure. And also, I get my best ideas while running. So also at times leaving the problem and going out and doing something very different and coming back to the problem also helps. So those are the three tips which at least I follow for myself. And there's no time, it's breathing. When there is time, there's running. And then thirdly, just leaving the problem for some time and coming back to it helps me to solve the
Because
problem
changing
better.
the vibe is very important.
Absolutely,
If you are
absolutely.
into a particular, if you're
Yeah.
stuck in a
If I'm
particular
stuck,
mode,
then
then
yes.
if you change the vibe, then you are
Yes.
just finding a way out of it.
Yes. And also the mind kind of recognizes that now it's not high pressure. And then when you come back to the problem, it just eases things out. But you don't have luxury of time all the time. And that's where the breathing exercise helps. So depending on the situation, I use those three methods.
Was there any turning point in your life when you realized the importance of fitness or well-being?
So I'll be honest, I've been very lucky. I've had parents who've been super fit and they have ingrained in us in times where, exercising and all the food was not the in thing to talk about. So we've been super fit as a family where running was important, swimming was extremely important. What kind of food we ate was important, and sleeping at 8 p.m., which was not very great at that time, if I think about it, was extremely important. So I've been lucky to have this as, inbuilt in my system. But having said that, after I think 35, 40, you realize that doing it every day is even more important. And I think that turning point is that You can't anymore just binge out and then not look at the weighing scale. You can't not exercise every day. So that consistency becomes even more important just to sustain that moment.
Correct. How has your definition of success evolved after 40?
So I'm not going to give a very bookish answer. I would give a very honest thing. For me, success is when my young son comes and says, yeah, he's super proud of me. And that's something very emotional, very exciting. For him, if I can beat him running, is success for me. And I think every success that I get at work, any bonus or any client, may not be very exciting for him, but I think this award, he's really looking forward to look at the trophy. So I'm super excited tonight to get it and show it back to him. So yeah, so for me, success is when children get inspired and they look forward. So that's exciting as a mother.
Okay. What's that one fit hack or fitness mantra you would like to give it to the audience or give it to the younger professionals coming up?
I think sleep on time, at least for the younger professionals. The minute you said younger, I have a 16-year-old son and I have a team which is really young. They all sleep at 3, 4, and then they reach office in various shapes and sizes.
And that one mantra which helped you as well, which
So I think which helped me was consistency. So even if I didn't have time, it was just those 10, 15 minutes I would just spend on myself. So consistency really rewards overall, yeah.
okay. If you have to give one advice to our upcoming corporate professionals, those who say they don't have time, like for the fitness, they cannot do fitness, no time left for fitness, no time left for consistency and whatever. So, what message would you like to give it to them?
Yeah. So I have a lot of clients. As I said, I do leadership development, and this is something I hear from them a lot of times. I think number 2 or number 3 problem after not having a great boss is not having time. And but giving that time to somebody will increase your productivity so much more. So if you were doing something which took you 6 or 7 hours, it'll take you 5 hours if you're fit physically and mentally. Secondly, in the long run, you'll be there for your family and for work for a much longer time. And therefore, I do urge them, but it has to come from them. Rather than an advice, I do give them coaching and ask them why is it that they're not able to do it. And if those answers come from them and they kind of make it a goal for themselves, it works better than a preaching sermon. And I've realized this with my 16-year-old also. If I tell him to exercise every day, it's not going to happen. But if it comes from him, and therefore asking the right questions in a coaching style helps them to find those answers, and then they realize the why of why they should exercise.
All right, ma'am, that was very much insightful. Like as Priyanka told us, you need to be very consistent in what you are doing. If you are not consistent, definitely you're not reaching at the goal which you are manifesting. So that's all from our end. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. Heartfelt thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.